to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. Good morning. Hi, y'all. It is Tuesday again. Already. Can you believe that? What the? You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. The biblical question for this week, and it's a doozy. The biblical question. Do you think for yourself? Do you think for yourself? Do ya? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're running around doing whatever you're doing today, tonight, late morning, already Wednesday, you could be listening to the show because we're heard around the world by everybody and their mama, so different time zone. You can podcast all the shows, but you could be listening on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. It's Tuesday. And some of you know, and maybe most of you know by now, if you've been listening for a minute, Tuesdays is one of my favorite days because it always reminds me of the good old days when boys were boys, men were men, and America was great. Tuesday is Country and Western Tuesday. Bring back, oh, bring back my country to me. Bring back my country to me.
Who let the dogs out?
Oh.
Amazing.
Nice.
Amazing.
Amazing. 888-775-3773. I'm looking at what's happening in Los Angeles right now. And it's so interesting. Very, very interesting to me. In that it's a large, big display of the spiritual warfare. What's going on? What does that mean? Oh, the song, what's going on? Nice. It's a spiritual warfare in a big way. And what I realized from what's happening in a big way where you can see it, and most people are going to miss it, I understand. But it's a warfare between good and evil. And then I noticed that there's always big demons that are controlling the little demons under them. And the small demons don't realize that they're being controlled by the big demons. The small demons think that they are in control, and they think that they have come up with the ideas of going out there and destroying people's properties, attacking police and the military, and throwing rocks and things at them, vandalizing and stealing. The little demons think that there's their idea, and they are convinced that they're standing up for a just cause, quote unquote, illegal aliens, right? People who break the law to get here, whether they're criminal in other ways or not. They're criminal because they broke the law. But they think it's their idea to be out there protesting and doing what they're doing. They don't realize that not only are they being influenced in their imagination, but they're being influenced by other big demons. And then those demons, the big demons, are being influenced by the head demon. The politicians, especially the liberal Democrats, media, and some rhino Republicans, are influencing the little demons to go out and destroy. And they're telling them that you're fighting for democracy, even though the little demons don't even know what democracy means, what it is. They wouldn't recognize it if it smacked them in the face. But the big demons are telling them that they got to go out and fight. You got to go out and fight for the illegal criminals and everything. And the big demons, the politicians, Maxine Waters, Jasmine Cricket, Gavin Newsom, all the Democratic representatives, I don't know about all, but most of them. And they're telling the people, you need to go out and protest. You need to go out and fight for the criminals. This is democracy. And so the little demons jump on board, and they go out and do it, and they have no idea why they're doing it, but they have been influenced by the big demons. The big demons. And what the big demons want is more power and money. They can care less about the illegal aliens, the families, the children, or any of that. They are about maintaining and getting more power and money. And they know how to influence the little demons to go out and fight and destroy. And then when the little demons are out there doing it, these the liberal media, the Democratic Party, and radicals, they come in and pretend that they're saving the little demons. Oh, we're coming in, we want to see where they're holding the people, we did this, while all the time influencing this, encouraging these type of things to happen. It's like when they want a war, because they need more money and power, they create a war anywhere in the world. And they make you believe you need to be a part of it because you're a patriot. You need to be a part of it because you need to stand for democracy. Whereas behind the scene, they're building war equipment and they're part of the plan. They're getting money from that and all kind war money from the war in all kind of ways. Why you sacrifice your life? And that's what's happening right now. What's happening in America should not be happening, but it is happening because human nature is evil. And there is a a strong desire for more power and more wealth. What you don't realize, demons, big ones and little ones, can never get enough power and money. That's what they thrive on. They are always trying to find something to make them feel a little better, even though it doesn't last. And right now, these people out protesting and burning and destroying and carrying on out on the street, they have no real idea why they're doing it. And then you see the Democrats rolling in, pretending they're trying to save the people from the problem that they caused, and they're blaming it on Trump and everybody else but themselves. And what I realize is that this is why these people encourage you to be angry. The preachers, there are like so-called religious people out in the protests too. Oh, they came out to save the people and make sure everything going right and blah, blah, blah. You're being controlled. Not only inwardly are you being controlled, but you're being controlled outwardly by others too. These people don't care about you. They don't care about the country. They don't care about anything but perceived power and wealth for themselves, and you're falling for it. And so that's a big way of how it's happening. These people are not protesting. You hear Gavin Newsom, he's begging to go to jail. Lock me up. I want to go to jail. And it's all for the thrill. And it's all to try to get more power and wealth because he knows that he has destroyed California as governor. He has destroyed it. And he doesn't care about that. He want to go to the next whatever level he thinks he's going to, that's to be the president. And he'll leave this junk right behind and move on and destroy America, all for the thrill, all for the power. And the people can't see. Forgive them, they are asleep. They cannot see. Really. And that's all that's going on right now. The people, you have people literally out there throwing rocks, and they bring rocks or take rocks to the insurrection to throw at the police and at people's cars and all kinds of stuff, setting them on fire. And then they're burning the American flag while carrying the Mexican flag. Think about that one. And these Democrats don't even care about that. They want this to be happening. They do, because they want power, and you get it by controlling the people. And the Democrats have had control over the people for a long time now. And Donald Trump is there. He said, no, let my people go. Let my people go. And they don't want to let the people go. And a whole lot of people don't want to go. They love their hell. They don't want out. But it's amazing to see these people being controlled. We showed you a video yesterday of the Wicked Witch of the West, Maxine Waters, trying to act like she's going to one of these detention centers, and I'm calling a woman, Maxine, I want to go in. And the guy slammed the door in her face right on. Maxine Waters can care 2 cents about anybody but herself. Maxine Waters has been over in South Central LA forever, and South Central LA has only gotten worse. They has riots over there. Remember the riots years ago? They didn't get better. They got worse. And yet these people vote her in because she's black and because she's female. And she goes out and pretends she's fighting for the people, as though you need someone to fight for you. And you can't see it because you're blinded by anger. There's no way that one American citizen should be fighting or supporting illegal aliens staying in America. I don't care where they're from and who they are. You shouldn't be in support of that at all. But you've been told to be that, to do that, and you think that's your thoughts, and you're falling for it. And especially the female. Oh, I feel so sorry for the children, the wives, the women who are marrying these men when they get here. They know they got to go home at some point. But you're destroying America all for the thrill and fake love. The Democrats don't care about you, nor do the right or Republicans. And so that's the big picture. And if you pull back a little bit, you'll see what's going on. But you got to first see what's going on inside of you. And likewise, in your regular small life, all people who have anger, same thing is happening to you too, in a small way. Number one, you're being controlled by anger, and you think you're in control, even though you're miserable, being controlled by anger. You're living in hell. But the anger keeps telling you that hell is heaven, and you believe it. And then you have people outside of you convincing you that you're in heaven. There's nothing wrong with anger. You should be wrong. Why they treat you that way? You should not allow that to happen. React. And when you do, they get a thrill. They love when you react because they know you're going to fall on your face. Your mother, and sometimes the father, your siblings. Have you noticed that when you do finally wake up, a little glimpse of waking up, immediately they all turn against you. And they build an army against you. Mama will build an army against you in the same way that media and the Democratic representatives are building an army against the people in order to keep them angry, in order to control them. Mama go around and she tell all the siblings and other, Jojo came to me and said he forgive me like I did something wrong. I'm his mother. Yes, mother, you are. Jojo is wrong, and now they mad at Jojo, and they join the forces with the mama, and they protest, and they carry picket signs. And now you're left standing alone, thinking that that's a bad place to be, but you're in the right place where you can stand alone. Because in reality, you're alone anyway. Anyway, you just don't know it. The people who are protesting in the streets, when this all died out, and it will, they're going to be left standing alone. Really. They're going to have, some of them going to end up in jail. Now they have criminal records. They have fines to pay. They're not going to be able to find Maxine or the Democratic Party or anyone to pay those bills for them or pick up the pieces. Just like you can't find anyone to pick up the pieces when you fall for the okey-doke from the crowd in your personal life. It's a spiritual thing, and I encourage you, if you want to be free, you got to wake up so you can see. You got to come out of your slumber. You got to come out of sleep. Really. What is happening out in LA right now is happening inside of you and in your world. It's the same manipulation by evil inside of you and outside of you, inside of others. It's the same thing going on right now. And I would encourage you, because this will die down eventually, and then it'll rise again. We've seen this before in the, 60s, when the so-called civil rights movement was happening. It was the same fake love, caring about the people situation. Those people didn't care about the blacks at all. They had an agenda. In the same way The government has an agenda right now, the so-called representatives. They want power. They want back in. In the same way that Martin Luther King Jr., Jesse Jackson, and all those so-called civil rights leaders back then, they wanted in. They wanted power. And they decided they're going to create a war. They're going to create a protest. And they told the blacks, you are enslaved by the white man. You can't ride on the front of the bus. You can't do this or that. Prior to that, the black people were just satisfied the way they were, living their lives and dealing with the issues of life. And their families, they were quite happy on the bus. It didn't matter where they were on the bus. But those so-called civil rights leaders, traitors of black people and America, told them that they were unhappy. It's not enough that you build your own university, black colleges. It's not enough that there are black city bus owners. You need to be mad at the white man. The white man is holding you back. You need to force your way on the white man's bus. And unfortunately, some black people said okay to that. And then a riot started. And then Martin Luther King Jr. and others sat back and watched the riot happen. And then sometimes they would go out there and be a part of it so they could be locked up. And then they write a letter from the Alabama prison, Alabama jail. And then they make that letter important. And they always read the Alabama letter by Martin Luther King Jr. and they pretend it's a serious letter. You're being controlled in more ways than one. And there were riots everywhere. They had to call in the National Guards and everything. And they needed to do it. It was the right thing to do. And then now the traitors use that to say, hey, here's history. The white man put dogs on you. They sprayed you with pepper spray. They did this, water hose. That's what you do when you stop a crowd. But they tried to act like it was racist. In the same way they're trying to do it now, they're telling the people, Trump is Hitler. Trump wanted to just maintain power. Trump is it, and then the people repeat it. Trump and Hitler. Trump is trying to protect the American citizens from illegal aliens. And the people tell them that Trump is Hitler, when they're the one Hitler because they're the one trying to take back power for themselves. But because you're asleep, you don't know. You don't see what's going on. You can't even see what anger is doing to you in your own private world, in your own life. How you're being manipulated. In the Bible, it says to count it all joy when you're feeling the pain, tribulations, work as patient in your life. You got to go through the fire. But instead of counting it all joy, when you feel the ego pain of loneliness, of doubt, of worry, of jealousy, of strife, of revenge, of shyness, of fear, of anger, of suicidal thoughts, or whatever. Trying to be like others, trying to please others, want to live but act like others. Instead of counting it all joy when you feel that pain, you run and get pot, smoke pot. The expert says smoke pot, you feel better. You got traumatic stress syndrome. You'll feel better. Here's medication. You are mentally ill, and you are, because anyone that has anger is mentally ill. And they tell you, here's medication for stress and mental illness. And so you never are able, unless you are one of those men or women who have decided, you know what, I'm working on myself now. But you're never able to count it all joy when you're feeling the pain. Instead of you cry and you wonder how long it's going to happen. This is too much. How long would I have to feel this way? I can't handle this. I need to go to a meeting and get up and say, my name is John Jordan, I'm an alcoholic. You don't count it all joy when you feel the pain, the ego pain of death. And yet, you say you want to live, but you're afraid to die. How are you going to live if you're afraid to die by protecting the very same thing that you need to die from? The old self, the not you self, the hell self, the misery self. You don't count that all joy. You blame others. You made me mad. You did this to me. You didn't say you love me. You used to treat me a certain way. Now you don't treat me that way anymore. And I'm ticked, and it's your fault, you say. You don't accept that this hell is already in you, and no one has anything to do with it or about it, except your parents when you were kids. Your parents hate you, and they set you up for this. They have no love. They set you up to suffer in life and not to be free. You got to go to the best college. You got to get the best job. You got to get the biggest house. You got to get married, have children. You got to take care of mama. You got to hate your daddy. And the preacher tell you Jesus was angry, and so you should be angry. It's okay, Lord, you can control it. You need anger for protection, and you believe it, and you suffer. What's going on? What's going on? And as soon as you wake up, you're going to see what's going on inside of you, and you're going to see what's going on out there too. And you're going to be amazed. But yet you're going to be grateful because you've been set apart from it. You don't need to participate in riots. You don't need to go down and defend Christianity or anything. It's insane. And when you do it, you're doing it for ego purposes. To make a name, what you think of making a name for yourself, to get attention, and to feel good. You're not doing it because you're a patriot. They tell you that word so you can feel good about doing it, so now you got to go out there and work hard to be a patriot. And then your limbs to get cut off, and the people who told you that you were a patriot, you can hardly find them. You can hardly get help at the VA. And you gave your life, and they made you feel good because you gave your life so that they could get more power and wealth. 888-7753-773. It's a spiritual battle. I suggest, but do what you want. You wake up within yourself and see what's going on. Know thyself. In order to live, you must die from the false self. Back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married, and the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. Hey, baby, I wanna know, would you be my girl? When I saw you walking down the street, I said, that's the girl for me. Welcome back. 888-7753-773. Quick announcements. Father's Day is coming up Sunday. I always love my father. So do something special for your father. To say thank you, Dad. Number one, you can order personalized shout-outs for your father. You still have time. And I would do them for you. Happy Father's Day, Dad. I love you, Dad. I appreciate you. Whatever, right? And you can order any shout-outs, really. Birthday shout-outs, weddings, congratulations, anniversaries, whatever. Go to Cameo, cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. And then while you're at it, order some merch. Along with the Cameo, your dad would love to open it up and see your daddy didn't leave you. He left your mama. He would be like, whoa, about time you realize that. I didn't leave you. I left your mama. I love you. When she's crying, she's lying. The Lord knows that's the truth. And then a man with anger is a murderer. A man or a woman, anyone. Amazing shirt. American Amazing Tar Baby, all kind of stuff there, mugs, and then to top it off, Parchy's coffee, my own coffee. So go to JesseLeePeterson.shop, JesseLeePeterson.shop, or RebuildingTheMan.store, RebuildingTheMan.com/store. RebuildingTheMan.com/store, not .store. That's not it. RebuildingTheMan.com/store or JesseLeePeterson.shop. All right? So I laid out to you in the opening what's happening, that these people are being controlled. You and every human being on earth, until you start to work on yourself to overcome, you are being controlled and you don't know it. You are possessed. You are being controlled from within, and if you're allowing that to happen, you're being controlled from without. And you're never going to overcome it until you start to work on yourself. I want to give you a glimpse. For those who may not have seen it, I probably think everybody has seen it by now, but what's happening in Los Angeles right now is uncalled for, it's unnecessary, it's because the people are being controlled. Just think about this. These people are destroying a city under pretense that they care about the criminals. Really, they don't care about the criminals or the non-criminals. But they pretend they care. They can't say they care about the American citizens. They have not done anything to protect the American citizens. So they got to pretend they care about the criminals in order to, hopefully, in their mind, get back into power. It's not about you. ABC News is reporting. President Trump mobilized 700 active duty Marines to Los Angeles in the wake of violent protests over immigration raids. Watch this.
Tonight, 700 Marines are on their way to the streets of Los Angeles to assist the National Guard and law enforcement tamp down violent clashes with protesters angry over the Trump administration's immigration policies and arrests. Over the past 72 hours, pockets of LA descending into chaos. Protesters setting cars on fire, dumping bikes and scooters on police cruisers on the highway. Law enforcement firing hundreds of flashbangs and non-lethal projectiles and making dozens of arrests. It got so heated in the streets that a British photographer needed emergency surgery after being struck by a non-lethal projectile.
Moving them on through the...
And there was this moment. Watch as a correspondent for 9 News Australia reporting on the protest when an officer hits her with a rubber pellet.
Amazing, huh? This is not necessary. It should not be happening. If you were to go out there, you ask the average person out there protest, why are you protesting? What is this about? Some of them will repeat what they've been told, and then you ask, well, are these people legal or illegal? And then they're lost. But this is hell on earth. This is human nature at work. It's human nature at work. This is happening in your private, one personal life, and it's happening in a big way. Gavin Newsom is now suing President Trump. Think about that. The people you hired to protect you from all criminals, illegals, and legals, don't want you to be protected. They want you angry. They want you out of control because you cannot control a stable person. You cannot control a sober person. You can only control an angry person. Why do you think husbands and wives make each other angry all the time? They want more control. And either they make you feel good, here are some flowers, and you smile, and they got you. Or they make you angry, and you get mad, and you overreact, and they got you. God is a dispassionate God who cannot be controlled. And any man or woman who overcome passion and become dispassionate, you cannot be controlled by anyone or anything. But Gavin Newsom is now suing President Trump for allegedly creating a condition for the chaos. They created it. Donald Trump is cleaning it up, but they're blaming Donald Trump so they can get in power. Watch this.
And tonight, an escalating war of words between California Governor Gavin Newsom and Donald Trump. Newsom suing the president for creating the conditions for this chaos when he sidestepped California officials to deploy thousands of National Guard troops.
Are you going to deploy Marines in California?
We hope to have the support of Gavin because Gavin's the big beneficiary as we straighten out his problems. I mean, his state is a mess.
Newsom then slammed by Trump and border czar Tom Homan for his response to the unrest. Homan initially suggesting the governor should be arrested, something Trump seemed to support just hours ago.
I would do it if I were Tom. I think it's great. Gavin likes the publicity, but I think it would be a great thing.
He's done a terrible job.
Newsom responding again, calling that an unmistakable step toward authoritarianism. I asked Homan about that.
If Gavin Newsom crosses whatever threshold it is and violates the law, do you have the authority to arrest him or
if he broke the laws like any other U.S. citizen, we'll ask the Attorney General to investigate, and they'll prosecute. Tom Homan's not going to prosecute.
Amazing. This is the way it was in the good old days when men ran the government. During the civil rights movement, they didn't tolerate that mess. Okay, black, y'all want to protest and tear down? Here come the Marines. Here come the National Guard. We're not going to let you tear down America. Is you crazy? Or are you crazy? Gavin Newsom pretend he cares. Look at Los Angeles. Look at San Francisco. There were like major fires in Los Angeles, up in areas where expensive homes were built. You think Gavin Newsom cared about that? According to a report, they couldn't get water to put out the fire in some cases. Gavin Newsom has allowed homeless people to destroy San Francisco and Los Angeles. All of a sudden, he cares? You really think he cares? This man loved he create the chaos. Trump is not creating chaos. He's cleaning up the chaos. Gavin created it in California. Homelessness. So many businesses left California. So many people left because of what Gavin Newsom created. And let's not even mention this dumber than a rock, Karen Bass. Karen Bass could not find her way out of a paper bag if she had to. And y'all voted for her because she's a black female. Y'all voted for her because she's a black female. And Karen, she hasn't done anything to help these people restore their homes and things like that. Karen Bass opened up a home for the homeless people. She holds a press conference, and then she's proud. What the? And y'all voted for her. I heard reports, I don't know how true it is because I just heard this report, that on Friday when this stuff started, Karen Bass told the police to stand down. That's kind of what some aspect of government from the report said when Black Lives Matter was creating an insurrection upon America, burning down business and stuff. Stand down. It's a peaceful protest, some people said. LAPD chief said that they may need more help. Watch this.
Spontaneous clashes began Friday as federal agents conducted multiple operations in and around Los Angeles. By Saturday, protests, mostly peaceful, grew larger when agents were seen staging in nearby Paramount, California. And by Sunday, a convoy of heavily armed and camouflaged troops arrived. We watched as the clashes intensified as the day progressed.
Just moments ago, there's some projectiles being thrown. Just moments ago, a motorcycle seemed to try to break through the police skirmish line.
LAPD's chief overnight saying they may need more help.
We are overwhelmed as far as the number of people out there engaged in this type of activity and the type of things that they're doing.
Amazing, huh? Bass don't care. This is what they want. And they want it so they can say, vote for me, Trump is a Hitler. So they create these situations. And then they say, see, I told you Trump wanted to be the ruler of the world. Otherwise, how would they get back in office if they don't convince angry people you need to go out and protest and burn and attack the cops? What a sad way to live. According to KTLA 5, Bass. I've debated Karen Bass before, right? When I see Karen Bass as mayor of Los Angeles, it's almost hard to believe that anyone was dumb enough to vote for her. But she's a black female. It doesn't matter that she's not qualified. But KTLA 5 is reporting, I'm very disappointed that Trump chaos to deploy, I'm very disappointed that Trump chose to deploy the National Guard because it was just not necessary, Bass said on a phone interview that's from KTLA 5. Isn't that amazing? No, they want his mass so Trump can deploy, and then they say he's a Hitler. Vote for me. Trump is a Hitler. And because you don't have control of your own life, you believe it. Yesterday, thousands gathered for the release of a so-called union leader. Watch this from ABC News.
And thousands today gathering peacefully, calling for the release of a prominent union leader arrested Friday during one of those workplace raids.
A lot of us are American citizens. So then what are we working for? What is the American dream? It doesn't even exist when you're picking people out of the street.
That dummy. Well, they said that rally was for the release of a union. He was arrested. Everybody want to be arrested all of a sudden. Nobody want to be arrested before Trump. Now everybody want to be arrested except baby Jessica's daddy. Amazing, huh? Dear, that was about the union leader, right? Did they mention him? But they didn't mention his name in that soundbite at all? Oh, they did not? What was the purpose of the soundbite then? But anyway, the union leader was arrested and they let him go on they released him, I believe, on a $50,000 bail. According to the report. I believe, I may be wrong with the number, but somewhere in there. One other thing I want to show you, then I'll get to your calls. Did you ever imagine that illegals would come into our country and throw rocks at our police force? Or people who support illegals will be throwing rocks at American police officers and military people. Watch this from KTLA. Federal official alleged 40-year-old Compton resident injured a federal officer by damaged government property while throwing rocks at law enforcement. Watch this from 11, Fox 11. Look at that. Thank you, Gavin Newsom.
An urgent manhunt now underway for the man seen in this viral video launching rocks like missiles at Border Patrol.
He thinks he's untouchable, and what he's finding out tonight is he's unleashed the power of the federal government. We will find him.
On Saturday, Border Patrol had a staging area in Paramount when they were confronted by protesters. Agitators then started throwing glass bottles and concrete chunks towards authorities, while Border Patrol agents fired back with pepper spray and rubber bullets.
As our agents were leaving the area, rocks were thrown, severely injuring one of our agents on his hand.
This video, obtained exclusively by Fox, shows Border Patrol agents leaving the tense standoff Saturday, taking on rocks, injuring one of the agents. The FBI using social media videos and our Fox 11 report to identify the rock thrower as 40-year-old Elpidio Reyna.
I think you interviewed him yourself, where he was trying to get trucks to block the Border Patrol officers from doing their job.
If you think this is getting out of hand, I'll control everybody right now.
Amazing, huh? I want you to really think about this. These people are doing all this under the pretense they care about the illegal alien. They are protecting criminals. Really, just think about that. They are hurting the American citizens, the Border Patrol people and all that, not knowing they're being controlled, manipulated. In the same way, you don't know that you're being controlled and manipulated by the spirit of evil, anger. Anger is hatred. Federal officials said they are doubling their resources and enforcement in Los Angeles.
Anybody who assaulted our officers, we've got the FBI working around the clock. We have agents out there. We will find you, we will arrest you, and we will charge you.
We're not going to be deterred in what we do for immigration enforcement.
If anyone thinks that this guy or any other thug out there is going to stop us from doing our job, they got to think again. We're doubling our resources. There's going to be even more enforcement in the city of Los Angeles now because of the activities you're seeing on TV.
This is why you want white men like Trump in charge. This is why. If this was like Obama administration, this would not be, you wouldn't be protected from this. They let Black Lives Matter burn down America. And then they put yellow signs on streets to honor the people who tried to destroy America. I want you to remember they are pretending they are protecting criminals. Anyone that crosses our border illegally, whether Biden said come on in or not, it's a criminal. That's just reality. If ever we needed you, Lord, we need you now. Wake up, America. No more sleeping in bed. No more backstabbing. It's time to move ahead. The world ain't getting no better. You got to change it. You and me. And the only way you're going to change it, you got to change the heart of human beings. Human beings are evil. And anyone that has evil, anger is evil. Anger is evil. It's the same meaning. What a mess! Super chat. Oh, are we at a break? Okay. Okay, super chat. Super.
Harmony says hashtag winner yesterday. Thank you.
Winner? What does that mean?
I don't know.
Thank you. I don't know what it means.
Somebody's a winner.
I'm a winner, babe.
Indo Wars says, like, now we going north. Running.
Like,
fast.
natty going north. Thank you.
And we'll have to read the rest later, guys. Thank you.
Let me take a break. 2 more hours to go. When I come back, straight to your phone calls and super chats. Quick break. Back in a moment. We got the hate news, not the fake news coming up. Back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature.
It's some serious mess going on in the world. These communist so-called protests, so-called peaceful protests, mostly peaceful riots, out of control. They hate America and they hate whites. Shout out. And China, they want more babies and they're going to kill the mother's pain to help that happen. This is the end of hour one of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Country and Western Tuesday, June 10th, AD 2025. The lines are full, but you can still call in every so often just in case a line opens up or as you hear JLP wrap up with callers as he gets to them. But it is Hake News, not fake news. We'll get to your super chats and more great stories as well. Hang tight, callers. Commie Nonsense Network, CNN reports, in an effort to boost birth rates, China is focusing on pain, the excruciating agony of childbirth, they say. While the practice is providing epidural anesthesia services to healthy pregnant women who are seeking pain relief during labor is widely used in many countries, only around 30% of pregnant women in China receive epidurals. To help promote a more friendly childbearing environment, large hospitals in China must now offer this service. Smaller hospitals should be prepared to provide epidurals by 2027. Wow. Interesting. Communism. And LA protests. The city is terrified. So says the Los Angeles joke of a mayor, Karen Bass. Can you believe it? Karen Bass is my mayor. Embarrassing. She says she says the city is not terrified of crime or of protests or riots, but of ICE. Quote, I can't emphasize enough the level of fear and terror that is in Angelenos right now. Not knowing if tomorrow or tonight it might be where they live. It might be their workplace. Should you send your kids to school? Should you go to work? She said, because the city is chock full of illegals, apparently. And she's for the illegals and against the Americans. Crazy, huh? Protesters are turning that fear into action. Psycho, huh? Walking through the city streets and standing in front of federal buildings to rail against the immigration, illegal alien, the crackdown on the illegals. Local police have mobilized to keep the peace, so-called, but have approximately 1,700 members of the National Guard deployed by our greatest president, Donald J. Trump, and not the state's so-called governor, whom we tried to recall, but we failed. Last night, our greatest president, Trump, ordered the deployment of another 2,000 National Guard members, as well as a full Marine battalion based in Southern California. Quote, the level of escalation is completely unwarranted, uncalled for, and unprecedented, mobilizing the best-in-class branch of the U.S. military against its own citizens. So said the joke of a California governor, Gavin Newsom, gruesome Newsom, new scum, as some people call him. But I don't do that because I'm nice. That's what he said. These LA protests began as a overreaction to the proper immigration raids. They've sparked demonstrations around the country. Communists everywhere. Enemies of America everywhere. Although about 150 demonstrators were arrested in San Francisco on Sunday. You may have heard about that on the Hake Report from one of my callers up in that area. Thousands more returned Monday to march through the city's civic center and Mission neighborhoods. Similar protests, riots, and degeneracy took place in Atlanta, of course, Boston, Dallas, New York, Pittsburgh, Seattle, of course, Washington, D.C., the swamp itself. Saturday, the so-called nonviolent 50501 movement, which I'd never heard of, plans to hold No Kings protests nationwide to encourage those in power to uphold the Constitution and seek an end to supposed executive overreach. In reality, it's been executive underreach. I'm James Hake. Now back to the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. Hour 2.
and to stand up strong. Think the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-7753. 773-888-77-JESSE. And my biblical question for this week. Do you think for yourself? Do you think for yourself? Do ya? Do you? Do you think for yourself? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show. And if you're busy, no matter what, working out or whatever you may be doing, anywhere in the world, you can be listening to the show. You can podcast, but you still can be listening on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. It's Tuesday. And every Tuesday is Country and Western Tuesday. Bring back, oh, bring back my country to me. Bring back my country to
What the?
me.
Who let the dogs out?
Amazing.
Amazing.
It's a spiritual battle. It is a spiritual battle. I want to go to, if you missed the first hour, make sure you podcast. I want to go to a first-time caller, Olivia, out of Tennessee. Olivia, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
How are you, Mr. Jesse Peterson?
All is well. Are you a first-time caller?
Yes, I am.
Welcome to the show.
Well, I basically just wanted to say that our president, when he took oath of our country, it was to protect all citizens, legal citizens, of all foreign and domestic terrorists. That's his job. I can't hear you.
I agree 100%. And I'm grateful that at a time like this, we have Donald Trump in charge.
Well, this past 4 years, we don't know who was in charge.
Right.
But that wasn't the president, because presidents don't allow the borders to be open.
Right.
And everybody under the sun to come here, because this is what we have from it. And it's not a racial problem. It is an illegal problem.
Yep.
And we have people that's supposed to be in charge that is tearing our country apart. And they do not need to be in office, and that's my opinion, because they took an oath to uphold our Constitution that they hold against everybody every day, but none of them follow it. And that's a shame because people are supposed to love, not hate.
Yep. It's amazing to me, too, that they have people in our government from foreign countries like Eliane Omar and some other woman from Alabama land. I forgot her stupid name. But
Tlaib.
And they,
Rashida Tlaib.
yeah. They,
I've seen
I
that
can't
lady
believe
in
they
a
let
video.
I can't believe they let the illegal, people from foreign countries be a
Should
part
never
of
hold
our
office.
government, right? They
Should
come
never
in,
hold an office here.
they're coming here with the same old ideas that they left, and they're enforcing it
Well,
on
they're
America.
not born here,
Right?
and they don't have our values, and they don't uphold them either.
Yeah, amazing.
And I have seen Rashida.
Absolutely. What a mess!
I've seen her on a video speaking in a group of people, including a professor at the Harvard University. And their whole purpose was to speak on the group that's been here since the 42s. And they've been 1942. They've been over time trying to group, and they're talking slowly but surely. But no matter how long it takes, their goal is to destroy us from within. And people better wake up, because they're not our leaders. They are our enemies in our government. And they need to go. And I say that with love. We can love them, and they can go while we love them.
I totally agree, Olivia. What a mess!
It is a mess. And the reason it's a mess is because money has paid these people off to do this.
Yeah.
We have leaders that have cared more about their greed than they have about this country. For God, when you take God out, who is left?
Absolutely. Well, thank God, as I said, that we have the greatest leader, Donald Trump, in office. If Donald Trump was not in office, it would be completely over already. So at least God has given us another chance.
Let me say, Mr. Peterson, that we're not dumb any longer. We've seen what people did in 2020. They hid those bricks. They hid those cocktails. They hid those fireworks and signs to attack people. They called them in from Act Blue and paid their fines, get them out, and helped them to do what they're doing. That's who's behind this right now. When Congress stands out or gets on the podcast and calls for people to take the streets, I feel they are personally responsible for people that are getting hurt, because they're calling them out to do it. And that's not what Congress is about.
The unfortunate thing is that the voters are going to vote these people in again. They're going to keep voting for the same people. Look, Maxine Warren is 190 years old, it seems.
Yeah, and if you checked her background like they checked Trump.
Yeah, and they keep voting her in. It's the darndest thing I ever seen. Olivia, I got to run, but I appreciate your call.
Thank you.
Take care now. Amazing. DJ is the first time call out of Texas. DJ, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thanks, Jesse. It's DJ, like Baby Jesus, but that's okay.
Oh, it's not. Oh, it's BJ, not DJ. Okay.
Yes, sir.
My bag.
No worry. Keep your bag. Man, first time caller, Country Western Tuesday. I'm just east of Dallas, and I live on a off-grid homestead that I built over the last 10 years.
Speak right into your phone for me, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
So, the reason I'm calling is I was recently fired from a job that started in January, and me and several other people, we remodeled homes, and I was a site supervisor for most of these other guys that were fired too. And I worked directly with the owner. And when he let us go over the last month or so, I'd started noticing he was being more erratic and angry and out of control, and just really began to put into words.
Are you on a speaker, BJ?
No, sir. Let me this.
Hold on.
Is this better?
Oh, yeah, that's better.
Oh, man, that's awesome. Okay. So, I began to see this guy was not trustworthy. And so I would tell him the problems I had with the way things were going, and he would do nothing about it and still demand things be done. So it was like he was wanting the impossible. And then he began to run, I think, into some money problems. And so he just started firing people. And he ended up keeping their tools and paychecks for the last couple of weeks. I had to call the police 4 times on him yesterday just to get my tools back. And I filed a small claims suit against the business, naming him to try to recover my 52 hours of pay that he owes me. And these other guys joined. I asked a few of them to join with me on the suit. And I was just wanting to get your perspective on this. Is this wise and worth it, or is it vanity?
I can't advise you on a lawsuit like that. I'm not an attorney, but what I would recommend is that you consult with an attorney, at least someone that it's hard to find good lawyers nowadays too, but one that you can trust, and see what he has to say about it. I don't know. I can't make any recommendation like that at all.
Well, the law part is not really my question. I have that handled. I've got a lot of experience there and have represented myself many times before. I've been a business owner for the last 20 years before the last 6 months working for this guy.
Well, I can't say though if you can prove that he have taken your tools, or if he's done something that he should not be, the way they treat you, you may have a good case, but I don't know. I do recommend, BJ, that you don't get angry, so that you can operate with a clear mind.
Yeah, I think if I could refine the question a little narrower for you, involving the other people with me in the suit, do you think that is an honorable or a good thing to do?
I see. I mean, if you invite,
don't worry about them.
Yeah, personally, I would tell you to just do it on your own by yourself, because most people don't want help anyway. But I would recommend. But if you personally, I would say go by yourself on this, right? Because if those people are too weak to fight for themselves, there's nothing you really can do about it.
They're not weak. I would say I just think they're ignorant and innocently unaware of how to get their property that's due them. And one of them's an immigrant from Syria. He's here legally. The other one's an immigrant from Mexico, or a first-generation Mexican immigrant, and he's here legally as well. And I think this guy is just a crook trying to take advantage of these people. And
well, I would, again, if you can talk to them and see if they want to get involved, but I would go at it by myself, to be honest.
Makes sense, yeah. I appreciate that. Thank you, Jesse.
I wish you well with that, man.
I wish you well, too. Thanks for all the guys you have there. I've really grown over the last 3 to 4 years listening to you, and I walk alone, and
right on.
All is well.
Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it.
Thank you, Jesse. You too.
All
I'll
right.
talk to you again soon.
All right, buddy. Amazing. 888-77-Jesse. Super chat. Super
chats. Indo Wars, thank you for your super chat. Said, not, like, now we going north. Eli P., how come there's so many black women in power? See no evil. Getting sick. Thrown up. Says Eli.
2 primary reasons. The men are weak. And secondly, because evil comes through the woman, the world, the people who are in control of all of it, they use the black woman to usher in more evil. She's being used. They stroke her ego. They tell her how wonderful she is. She's black. She's been through this. She's a poor black woman. And they use her to bring in evil. It's amazing. Thank you.
Eli P. with another, access to white countries is not a human right.
That's for sure. You can say that again. Thank you.
Sion says, too late, Jesse. The Mexicans have already mixed with the whites, and the whites love chimichanga and tacos to let them go.
Evidently. What a mess.
Terrible.
Thank you, Sion.
Eli with yet another, if whites had the same unity as Aztecs, it's game over.
Yeah. If white people were the way they were when the whites founded America, and then a while after that, there would be no way that they would tolerate this mess in America. It just wouldn't be. It just would not be. Amazing. Thank you.
Anthony says, Show and Tell by Al Wilson, #1 hit, 1973.
I remember that. Show and Tell. Amazing. Thank you.
Cornerstone on Cash App, The Great Black Hope, Strong Arm and Thanks Hands.
Amazing. Thank you.
Another from Anthony, excuse me, sir, that's my horse you're talking to.
That's right. Well, no, thank you.
On buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, Sion, Lord help Trump with Elon Musk because he had access to the government. He's friends with China. I still don't trust Vance. Never liked Elon. I believe he's still a druggist. If he didn't have all the money, he's what we call a crackhead, Jesse. Hearts.
He's a what?
Crackhead.
Oh. I don't know, but I just want the great white hope Donald Trump continue to make America great again. Move on. Don't be distracted. He only, sort of a miracle. He's only had this his last time around. So I just want him to work daily to make America great again. Thank you, Sia. Amazing.
Lori, 5.
How's your back, Sia, and your neck? Right? Maybe she hurt her back in an accident or something?
Yeah, some disc issues.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you.
5 coffees from Lori. Hey, Jesse, biblical question answer.
Do you think for yourself?
Nope. Been running around possessed and didn't even know it. Thank you, God, for allowing me to see for myself, and thank you, Jesse and crew, for your help.
I appreciate that. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. It only gets better. Amazing.
Luke, 5 coffees. We need to donate some big money to Bond so they can get some private security for man on the street interviews. Here's my contribution.
Right on. Thank you. And you can do that by going to rebuildingaman.com/donate. rebuildingaman.com/donate, or call 800-411-BOND. 800-411-2663. Amazing.
Truth for Jesus bought a coffee. Bring in the National Guard and arrest them. Ice, ice, baby. We don't want another summer of love. Thank you, Jesse, and stay with it, stay with it, stay with it.
Thank you. It's going to be a long, hot summer.
Indeed.
And keeping cool will be the thing to do. Amazing. Thank you.
Stop the Cap bought a coffee. Our country fought to get away from being ruled by a tyrant. Yet you, Jesse, are willing to go back to that just because you have a weird, suspicious love for the president. What you see right now is us literally on the verge of another Hitler campaign, says Stop the Cap.
Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. I remember the good old days. And I remember when black people, for the most part, not all, of course, was free. We're free. And they did their own things. They didn't blame the white man. They did their own thing. I want that back. And I don't know what you mean by Hitler. You don't even know what Hitler did. Really. You just saying what other people said. But thank you, though. I appreciate the feed, though.
Thanks as always.
Yeah,
Stop
I really
the Cap.
do. Yeah, thank you.
Anthony on Cash App. That's Bond JLP on Cash App. Mexicans low IQTP, not all, but most, says Anthony.
I was, thank you, Anthony. I appreciate it. I was thinking about the illegals that are here. It's their fault they came here illegally, but it's our government fault that they made it possible by leaving the borders wide open. And then it's the voters' fault for voting in the government that we have. Each individual is responsible for their own lives, their own action, and everything. Thank you.
Indeed. Charles, should we forego Satan?
Forego mean what?
Skip.
What?
Skip.
Skip Satan?
Mm-hmm.
How do you do that? You can't skip the devil. You have to overcome the devil. Resist him.
Nice.
Count it all joy. Did you know in the Bible where it says, count it all joy when you're feeling the pain, tribulations, working patient in your life, that it meant the thrills and things that you got?
No, I didn't know that. Not really.
What did you think that meant? You're the homegrown Bible thumper person.
I kind of thought that it was like persecution for being Christian or something. I don't know.
The Christians always think the Bible means something outwardly.
I know. Terrible.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you, Charles. Winston, good morning. How are you? Hey, stop being so judgy. Nick, get the phone. Joel, bless his heart.
Thank you. Amazing.
Nick can't get the phone.
Remember I used to tell Nick, get the phone,
Yeah,
Nick.
that was somebody's username for a while.
Yeah.
Charles with another. Is there such thing as illegal aliens?
Yeah.
Indeed.
100%. You better believe it. Thank you, Charles.
Zit has a movie tip. Thank you. I shall pass that along.
I appreciate that.
Ryan J. California is the second worst state in America next to New York. Los Angeles is worse than Portland, in my opinion.
It's bad. I never imagined that one day the government of any race, really, could want to see a country like America destroyed. And they will work overtime to just create nothing but chaos. And then they can use the people to make the people carrying it out for them. That's what's so crazy. They can tell you to go on the street and fight each other, fight the police, throw a rock, and you'll do it. Go figure.
Makes no sense.
Amazing.
I call Maxine a germ, because that's what she is. Why do people gotta believe the germs?
Amazing.
Ryan J. with another. Why do you live in Los Angeles, Jesse? It is the second worst city in America next to NYC. Everyone stuck in LA don't actually enjoy living there, he says.
Well, I haven't seen the move yet. If I see it, I will move. Thank you, though. I understand the question.
Yet another from Ryan J. IPAC is the only real enemy in America. They own both sides of Congress, he says.
Amazing. Thank you. I got to stop there.
All right.
Let me stop. I want to go to some phone calls. Amazing. We'll come back to the super. Let me go to a first-time call out of California. Israel, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse. How are you doing?
All is well. Are you on a speaker or something? Bluetooth?
No, sir. I'm on just on my regular phone.
Okay, go ahead.
So I had a question, Jesse. Do you believe, because I've seen many, many conflicting reports, and I don't know what to think when it comes to the social media nowadays, but do you believe that President Trump actually will arrest Gavin Newsom? Because I genuinely hope he does.
I believe, and I have to wait and see, but I believe he would do it if it was necessary. If Newsom got in the way of these people doing their jobs to protect Americans, I believe the president will and should arrest him and throw away the key.
I think so, too. I honestly think it should be like a public arrest, not just some private.
Yeah,
but
and I think
that's
I think Newsom want to be arrested because he think it's going to have a positive impact on him in case he runs for president?
I really don't see how being an inmate is ever going to have a positive effect on you. But
right,
I guess whatever.
But when you're
That's
angry,
what he wants to believe.
Yeah, when you're angry, you can't see that. That doesn't make sense, right? But Newsom, he wants power, more power, and he's begging to be arrested.
Which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense.
It makes sense if you understand. He thinks that the outcome is going to be the same for him as it was for the Great White Hope when they tried to arrest him. They took him in court. They did all that. He thinks that's what's going to happen for him, but it's not.
No, not at all.
Amazing.
Especially with the way he's handled every other riot that has ever happened in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Thank God I moved out of there. That place is crazy.
It's a mess. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
All right, buddy. Amazing. Let me go all the way out to the Bahamas and talk to Brian. Brian, you're on the air. Brian? Turn off the show, Brian. All right. 888-775-3773. Let me go to California and talk to MATEUS, I believe. MATEUS, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Great Black Hope. Remember, I'm the guy that gave you that coffee mug, Jesse. How you doing, sir?
Oh, I totally remember. Nice cup.
Yeah. How you doing, sir? Good
All
morning.
is well.
Yeah, you know, I'm a truck driver, and I got two things to say. You know, I go to the border all the time, and all the Mexicans that work in San Diego and live in Mexico, I don't see them rioting. And it's just funny, you know. And then I work with a couple truck drivers, and one guy was bragging about his daughter being at the protest and showing video. Look at my daughter on the front line and all this. And I said, "What? You're proud of that?" And he's like, "Yeah, we're taking back our land. This is our land." And I said, "What are you 300 years old? Wow, you look good for your age." And he's like, "What do you mean by that?" And I said, "Well, the country's 250, so you got to be 300 if it's your land."
That's right.
He said, "We're going to take back our land." And then I started realizing all the teachings that you teach. You cannot argue with an angry person. They're mad and they don't even know why, and they're just being led by puppet strings and followed, and it's all emotional because every time you bring up a good point, they just move on to another one. Just like when you talk to Mays and T and all these people, it's never dealing with what's right in front of them. They just want to move on, because if you force them to deal with it, they know that they're wrong.
Absolutely. You can never, that's why you have to lay down your weapon and never try to convince an angry person of anything. They're never going to see the truth.
Yeah, and when people say that our land thing, I'm like, our land?
I know.
What does that even mean? I don't even know what that means.
And they don't either, man. They've just been told that, and they're just repeating what they've been told. They have no idea what that means at all, for sure.
Yeah, thank you, and have a good morning, brother.
You too.
I'll see you later.
You too, buddy. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Corey, there's a line open, 888-775-3773. Let me go out to Michigan and talk to Corey. Corey, welcome to the show. You're on the air. CORA.
Good morning, Jesse.
Not Corey, but
Yes.
CORA.
Yeah, you always say Corey, but I'm just like, whatever.
There you go.
But yeah, CORA. So I just wanted to ask. Hold on one second.
Hold on a minute. Let me take a break. Hold on a minute. Hold on.
Okay.
Quick break. Back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. Country and Western Tuesday. Amazing. Announcement. So the Hake Report is coming up after my show at 9 a.m. from 9 to 11. TheHakeReport.com. TheHakeReport.com from 9 to 11. You don't want to miss it. The guy with the good hair. You don't want to miss it. And then after the Hake Report today, no Joel Friday, the American Anchor Baby at 11 a.m. today. And he is on fire, and he has something special coming up for you today. You do not want to miss it. You want to catch it. It's going to be interesting. The American Anchor Baby at 11 today. And then check out the Punchy.tv. We had a brand new episode there yesterday. Watch this.
Are you ready? I don't think you guys are.
What's feminism?
Feminism, what is that?
I don't want to do what you're telling me to do. And I can understand that because no one needs to be told what to do in an ego way.
What is this ego way? Is when a cop arrests someone, are they telling them in an ego way?
Sometimes when we speak on these things, you guys are saying all marriages are cooked, that there's no exceptions. But I just want to know clearly. But that's what I'm saying. I could be wrong. That's why I want to ask.
You see my skepticism as like a denial of some heaven. You're really the shallow one.
You're telling everybody all marriages are cooked.
I'm telling you things that are ancient. Marriage is a moment of passion and eternity of duty.
Wow. Fight. Amazing. Punchin.tv. Check it out. Podcast is a brand new episode. All right. Amazing. Let me go back to CORA. CORA out of Michigan. CORA, go ahead.
Okay, so I just wanted to ask, so as far as like my parents, I've forgiven them and everything, but I did have an uncle and aunts who had lived with me for frequent amount of times. Like my uncle lived with me for a while growing up, actually, a big part of my childhood, because my dad was a drunk, so he kind of stepped in, and he didn't like step in as a dad, but more so just like watched movies with us, did kind of like fun things with us. But my dad was always there. He just kind of was a drunk and couldn't take care of us very greatly. So I just wanted to know, like, do I forgive him too? He's very much out of my life now and has been for a while, but I just wanted to know if I should forgive like my aunts and uncles who've lived with me for a while growing up.
You said your father's out of your life now?
So when I was growing up, my dad was a drunk. He was never out of the house. He just was a drunk growing up when I was a kid.
Did you say he's out of your life now?
Well, yeah, actually now he is out of my life. I live with my boyfriend. We kind of talked about that a while ago, but he is out of my life now. But growing up, he just was a drunk and couldn't really take care of us greatly. I had forgiven.
Go
ahead.
Have you forgiven your father?
Yes, I've forgiven my mother and my father.
Okay.
But as far as my uncle, I was just curious, like, he was a big part of my childhood at the time because my dad wasn't very available.
Right. Are you
Sorry,
angry?
allergies, but
Are you angry at him for any reason? Your uncle?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, I was having thoughts of things he would do that were not okay that did make me like I probably have judged him for sure. Because he did have his own issues and did do things that were very satanic. But at the end of the day, I didn't start thinking of those things until I thought, oh, should I forgive him?
No, move on. Just now that you've forgiven your parents, and God has forgiven you, you just move on. And whatever, just don't be angry at anyone else ever again, and you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and is that the same?
You don't need to go around forgiving everybody. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, that was my question because I also had other aunts who had also lived with me for a while growing up. I was like, should I forgive them too, or should I just move on from them too?
Move on to. Just stop being angry, and when you have no anger, you have perfect love. So you'll be fine.
Okay. So let the thoughts go of like anything that would make me feel like I have to forgive them because that's just the devil anyway. Like
100%.
Trying to meet. He keeps having me trying to resurface things. Like I just keep noticing he just keeps trying to make me resurface something that is already done and over with. Like God has already forgiven me.
Yeah.
But I think that since he fears me growing so much, he'll like give me, because Jesse, I tried to resist this thought for so long and I was doing really well. And I wanted to ask, should I have resisted this thought instead of calling you and clarifying and just let it go?
I mean, as you mature, you will do that. You'll start seeing clearly. But I want you to remind you that all thoughts are all lies all the time. And so I want to encourage you to get to the point where you just watch those thoughts and emotions, and eventually you start catching the thoughts before they fall into emotions. But just watch those thoughts. Don't communicate with them. Don't call them you. If they tell you go around and forgive Aunt Lily, Aunt Martha, don't fall for that. And just do the silent prayer and move on. Just stop communicating with the thoughts and stop calling them you.
Okay. I mean, I was doing so good for so long, and it felt very painful. Like, if I was to explain, I don't know why, but for some reason when it comes to certain thoughts, it feels so painful to the point where I know that's like it feels like there's something on the other side of it. But I gave in, and I called you, and I'm not going to let the devil talk to me about it, but next time, do you just encourage me to just sit through that pain no matter what it's telling me, to just not call you and sit through it and just let it go and see what happens?
Unless it's something medical, you should call the doctor, but you should always sit through psychological, emotional pain, because that's the ego death. You're going to don't run away from it, don't deny it, live with it, but don't call it you. And eventually those identities, which are false, and you've been believing them, would disappear. But you got to learn to sit through it and don't blame anyone else for the way you feel, what you're thinking. Don't yell at your boyfriend or anyone, and just sit through it. Live with it, go to work with it, drive with it, eat with it, sleep with it. God is trying to save you from those spirits. He's trying to take them away from you.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I also just had to ask, like, as far as, like, just forgiving your mom and dad, is that, like, just, like, what you need to do? You don't need to, like, go around to people who you've grown up with or, like, old friends or anything. Like, you can just be your mom and your dad, and after that, the forgiveness is done.
100%. You spend the rest of your life going around forgiving everybody.
I know.
Because once you...
I know, and I feel like I've moved on from my past. Like, I'd have to really think about something they did in order... It would have to really, like... I don't have anything against anyone in my life at all. So I knew in my gut I did not have to go do that. Right. So I just wanted to clarify with you. But, like, I knew in my gut, like, God was telling me, let it go. Stop.
Plus, you shouldn't be thinking about the past anyway. It doesn't exist.
Exactly. No, I agree. Well, that was kind of just my question. And I also just, like, love listening to you. I always get encouragement to keep going. I'm about to watch Sunday's service right now, so I'm excited.
Stay with us. Stay with us. Stay with it. All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Take care now. Amazing. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Michigan and talk to Marion. I can't hear you. Marion.
Yes.
Marion, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, it's so nice to talk to you again.
Thank you.
It's my second call.
Right on.
Yep, so I'm calling just my soon-to-be mother-in-law. I feel like I've been having some internal issues with her. I'll just have to say first, she is amazing. Like, she's not mean to me. She's actually very respectful. She's very giving. You know, she's very loving. But she just crosses boundaries as far as, like, just coming here, like coming to our house. She lives 10 minutes away, you know. Sometimes I feel like she just tries to impose because she doesn't really have a life of herself, which I know hey, I don't hold that against her or whatever, you know, but I have a kid, like, I'm going to marry her son in a couple months. We have one daughter together, and there's times where, you know, he gets home from work and they get out around the same time sometimes, and I'll just want family time, you know, with my man and my daughter. And then she just asks, like, can I come stop by and see Sonia, you know, and I understand that's her grandchild, but sometimes I feel like suffocated also with his sister as well sometimes. She also lives only 10 minutes away in a different direction. So, you know, and she's trying to have kids as well, you know, but, you know, I just feel kind of suffocated by them, and I'm trying to find a way to communicate that in a healthy way to them that doesn't offend them, but also can lay a boundary for me, you know, unless I'm just being selfish or, you know, but she has a boyfriend. His mom has a boyfriend. His parents are divorced. They divorced when he was just graduated from high school, and he's about 32 now. So
how old are you?
Got a boy. I am going to be 27 next month. So.
How old are you today?
26.
Okay, go ahead.
Yep, so his mom has a boyfriend, but, you know, I mean, clearly she still doesn't really care enough to stay with him. She likes to come bounce around here, go see his brother to see his baby. Like, she just kind of imposes on our life a lot.
So if she's doing all those things, why you say she's amazing?
Well, because, okay, well, she's never called me names or, you know, disrespected me blatantly.
Well,
but
that's only because you haven't stood up to her. If you stand up to her, she's going to call you names.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
What do your boyfriends say about his mother and sister?
So he, I don't want to say he tries to defend them, but he tries to get me to look at things in her situation. Like, his mom just lost her dad, and she has no parents now. So he's like, you know, well, she doesn't have any parents. She's lonely. Sometimes she wants to see her grandchild. You know, it's her grandchild. I'm like, I understand that, but is it healthy to see her 3 times a week? I mean, or 4 times a week? I mean, it's nothing against her. It's really not, but I
Why are you married a guy that can't control his own mother or sister? Why are you married a guy like that?
Come on, Jesse. Oh, dang. It's like, I don't see him as, like, a beta male to where he's just, you know, like, I don't want to say he's a beta male, but he definitely favors his mother over his father. Man, I just didn't see it that way, Jesse. He's a really great provider. You know, he works hard. He's a roofer. You know, I stay home with our daughter, you know, because of how hard he works. So there's just a lot of things that overlook that little part, I guess. But I don't know. I mean, here I am, though, a couple years later, and it's, you know, like, his sister is supposed to come over today to read the Bible with me because we do studies once a week. And then she mentioned, hey, my mom's probably going to stop over, too.
Why you read the Bible with the devil?
Jesse! For real? Oh my goodness. I mean, and I don't want to, okay. I mean, I love them, Jesse. You know what I mean?
No,
I've grown a relationship.
You don't love them. If you loved them, you would be honest with them and not be angry.
Mm-hmm.
Why you married a guy that, based on what you're saying, I'm only hearing your side, but why you married a guy that can't control his mother or his sister?
Well, there was, okay, let me just say this quick, Jesse. Probably a month or two ago, I invited his mother over because, well, you know, she wanted to come see the baby. I said, okay. And then 15 minutes later, his sister shows up unannounced, didn't even ask me, give me a heads up, like, hey, I'm going to stop by too. She just stopped by like she's entitled to, you know what I mean? And then that's what his mom is doing to me today. Like, now I'm having his sister over, and now his mom hasn't talked to me or anything today, but his sister's telling me, oh, well, my mom's going to come too. So it's just, I feel disrespected. Like,
why
can't
you married
just
a
talk to
guy
me?
that can't control his own mother and sister?
Oh. I love him, Jesse, and I just think there's way more pros that outweigh that. But you know what?
If what you're saying is true, it's going to get worse. It's not going to get better once you get married. You're already irritated at these people. You don't like them based on what you're saying. They're imposing on you. You can't tell them yourself. Why don't you tell them that, no, you can't come?
Well, because it's not like I don't want her to. I just want her to respect me enough to ask me.
No, why don't you tell her that?
Okay, yeah.
No, that was a question.
Because his mom's not good with confrontation. Like,
what that have to do with you?
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true.
No, that was
It
a
has
question.
nothing to do with me. Yeah, it has nothing to do with me. I guess I'm just trying to spare other people's feelings, you know.
And why?
I guess just so there's no friction, I guess, in the family. So there's no...
But you're having friction. You're not happy.
Yeah, right. I hear you. Dang. Yeah, so I just got to be honest with them, I guess it sounds like. I mean...
If you love them, you would. But you just won't be angry.
Damn. Yeah. I mean, he's offered to say something for me, you know, like I'll talk to them, you know, but it hasn't happened. Not that I know of.
And did you say yes?
I was like, I was kind of iffy because I'm usually okay with defending myself.
But you're not defending yourself. And you're not, it sounds like you don't want him to do it either. So you're the problem.
Ooh. Yeah, because I'm not taking action. I'm not doing anything about it. I'm just complaining, right?
You're just
Not
bitching
doing-
about it, and then in your mind, you're judging.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. No, that's so true. It's like I literally, it's just hard, Jesse, because I have a good relationship with them.
You don't have a good
relationship.
That's a lie. You don't have a good relationship. You hate them. They're imposing on your life. They come when they're not invited. How is that a good relationship? And you're afraid to tell them not to come. How is that a good relationship?
I've talked to his sister once.
That
in
was
the past,
a question.
but clearly-
How is that a good relationship? You can't even tell them, no, don't come. You say they come uninvited. You won't say anything. You're frustrated. How is that a good relationship?
You're right. I guess I
No,
can't
that
see
was
any
a
good in it.
question.
I can't see it being a good relationship when you put it that way. You're right.
So why are
it's
you
not.
even calling it a good relationship? You call
I
it
guess
evil good.
Really?
No, really.
So you're saying they're evil?
You are evil. You're the one who won't speak up.
Ooh, yeah.
You don't love them enough to say, hey, don't come. Not today. And when you're going to come, let me know in advance. Don't just invite yourself. You don't even love them enough to say that. You're no different than they are. Two devils, three devils trying to control each other.
Wow, yeah. Wow. Yep, you're right. I needed to hear that. You know, I called you before about my own mother, and I was shaking in my boots then too, you know. And I guess I see myself there again with somebody else's mom, you know. So it looks like I have to just fight, you know, just be honest with her. Obviously, I should have did that. So there's no excuse on why I didn't. I haven't said anything to her. I guess to be honest, I just didn't want issues. I didn't want to have to deal with it, but it looks like I still have to deal with it either way. So, okay, well, I think I got my question answered. I mean, so I'll just tell her, like, you know, because I don't mind if they come over. I just want them to be respectful, because we live in their old family house. Like, this is the house that, so I don't know if they feel entitled to still just come here, like it's the house, even though his sister's married, his mom's got a boyfriend, you know. You don't even live here.
You're complaining about them when you are your own problem. The fear is inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
The frustration is inside of you. You can't blame them for your weakness. You're the one that's refusing to speak up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And talking about their issues are not going to help you at all. The mama got a boyfriend. The sister want a baby. The problem with you won't speak up. You don't have love.
Mhm. Yeah. You're right. You're right. I needed to hear that. Over here, you know, kind of low-key judging, but, you know, you're right. I gotta just... I feel like I was trying to worry about my life, but it's hard when people just keep trying to come over, but...
They're only doing what you allow them to do. You won't say anything. You won't say no. You can't blame them. You're allowing them to come into your house whenever they want and read the Bible. You read the Bible with the people you hate.
Mhm. Wow. Yeah. I don't know what to say to that. You're right. Yeah. Well, I don't want to be that way, you know. I don't want to be that person.
And you don't have to be that person, but you got to stand up and not be angry and speak up. Hold on.
Okay.
I got to take a break. 1 more hour to go. Hate news, not the fake news. Back in a moment. Anytime you have situations happening in your life, always be still. Don't overreact. Most of the people that I know, they say, oh, I know Jesus. I love Jesus. I'm an observer. And as soon as something don't go their way, they get mad. I'm like, what the? If you overreact, folks, remember to do that. Don't overreact. And when you get mad, it's your problem. It ain't your wife's problem, your husband's problem, your neighbor, your friend, your preacher, your teacher. It's your problem. Why you think you tick? It didn't go your way or the way you think it should go. Don't have a way you think it should go. Let life just happen. Thoughts make you think that life should go the way you want it to go. And if it doesn't, if someone don't do or say or act the way you think they should act, you hate them. And then you blame them for being mad. It's the darndest thing I ever seen. But it's amazing to see it. So relax.
some serious drama and mess going on in the world, such as war in the Ukraine, ongoing, and vaccine. The Vax Advisory Committee, all fired, something like that, by our greatest Secretary of Health and Human Services, RFK Jr., the good Robert F. Kennedy, not like that evil one, his dad, I think, right? This is the end of hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Country and Western Tuesday, June 10th, AD 2025. Hang tight, callers. JLP will be right back to your calls and more great stories and your super chats. The lines are full. You can, however, call in every so often, okay? Because it is hake news, not fake news, and a line may open up as callers wait on hold, or as JLP wraps up with other callers. Call on in. Call Me Nonsense Network, CNN reports. Oh, by the way, after the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, the Hake Report. And then after the Hake Report, it's going to be American Anchor, baby, at 11 Pacific time. Very cool. Nice. Call Me Nonsense Network, CNN reports. Residents of Kiev, you heard of it? That's in the Ukraine. May have wanted to grab a few hours of sleep last night. I don't know how you grab that. But finding such slumber was unlikely. Instead, the sky above the Ukraine's capital, so-called capital, filled with the sound of the air defense systems trying to stop incoming drones from causing more death and destruction. Terrible. There were frequent explosions from the drones that got through to the defenses, and hours blaring air raid sirens. Russia launched at least 315 drones at Ukraine overnight, or the Ukraine if you want to call it that, in what the Ukrainian so-called president, who's not a Christian, Volodymyr Zelensky, described as, quote, one of the largest attacks on Kiev. The assault damaged high-rise buildings, terrible, homes and cars in 7 districts of the capital, and injured at least 4 people. Whoa. Russian drones also struck the southern port city of Odessa, Odessa, not to be confused with Odessa with 2 S's over in Texas. Shout out. Killing at least 2 people in Odessa, Ukraine, and damaging a maternity ward. Woo. And meanwhile, in America, vaccines drama. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. dismissed, meaning fired, I believe, right? The entire panel of vaccine advisors that guides the CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, on the vaccine schedule and required coverage of immunizations. In a Wall Street Journal op-ed, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said the group was plagued with conflicts of interest. Wow. I wonder if that's true. I could kind of believe that it's true. I mean, he wouldn't lie, would he necessarily? And will be replaced with new members. Good. Each of the 17 members on the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices typically are experts in the field who served in 4-year cycles. Removing the entire panel prematurely was unprecedented. I don't know why they're calling it prematurely. Unprecedented. I've never seen anything this damaging to public health, communist buzzword, happen in my lifetime. So said one just dismissed panel member. I'm shocked. It's pretty brazen. This will fundamentally destabilize vaccination in America. Talk about a self-important, the sky is falling type of a person, huh? What a mess. And Harvard, the State Department has ordered a U.S. diplomatic post around the world to resume processing Harvard's university student and exchange visitor visas. New guidance announced after a so-called judge halted our greatest president, Donald J. Trump's latest attempt to block international students from attending that so-called Ivy League school, un-American school. In recent months, the Trump administration demanded Harvard College change their hiring and requirements, admission requirements, eliminate the DEI, communism, anti-white stuff, anti-man stuff, diversity, equity, inclusion, and alter rules for protests. You've heard all that mess. And so it's all a mess in the courts. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
got to stand up strong. Think the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
United, my bad. I was trying to put my headset on here, and I'm going to get yelled at and all that kind of stuff. Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77 Jesse. And my biblical question, do you think for yourself? Do you think for yourself? And if you're running around exercising or whatever you're doing right now, anywhere in the world, you can listen to the show. You can podcast, but you can be listening on your iPhone or iPad by calling the Listen Line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk. Or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. It's Tuesday. It's the last hour of Tuesday. It is Country and Western Tuesday. Bring back, oh, bring back my country to me. Bring back my country to
What
me.
the? Who let the dogs out?
Country
Amazing.
Country and Western Tuesday.
Amazing.
It's amazing. I want to go back to MARION out of Michigan, and she's having a rough time with her soon-to-be mother-in-law and soon-to-be sister-in-law. MARION, what would happen if you told them don't come to your house unless they call first?
I mean, I think they would just talk about, they'd be okay with it, and they'd be like, okay, but they would just talk about me after, you know?
What would they say
they're not
about
problematic.
you? What would they say about you?
They'll probably think, you know, but I'll probably just say stuff like, well, my parents used to pop in on me when you guys were kids, because she says that, you know,
But what
and I
would
understand they grew up.
say about you?
She'll probably say that. I feel like she'd just say. She'd probably be confused. Like, why would she say that to me? Why is that a problem?
Why are you assuming? Oh, first let me ask: are you concerned about what they say about you or think about you? Are you concerned about that?
I was just thinking about that on the way too. I'm like, wow, it kind of seems like I do, you know, since I haven't confronted them.
And
so I think I do kind of care about what they think.
And why?
Just because they're related to, you know, the person I love, and it's just out of respect, I feel like.
How is that respect?
Ooh. You're right. It's not
No,
respect.
that was a
It's
question.
not. Yeah, I guess at the time I thought it was respectful by just not disrespecting your elders. Like his mom is an elder, you know.
If you respected them, you would not hold a grudge, of course. You wouldn't be angry, but you would tell them, don't come unless you call first. That's
Yeah.
what respect is, to not resent. How's that respect that you won't tell them how you're really thinking about them coming to your house now, uninvited?
Yeah. Right. It's
How's
not
that
respect.
respect?
It's not, honestly, now I don't think it is respect, because I'm coming to a realization that, yeah, I am slowly resenting them for it. And I thought I was doing the right thing by just, I guess I don't, like I said, I have confronted his sister before for, other things that's happened in my home, but I've never confronted his mother about anything, so I guess I I really can't answer that, Jesse. I'm trying to.
You have fear. And in your fear, it's telling, well, what if this happened? What if that happened? What about this? What about that? And fear is driving you, and it's preventing you from living. And you don't realize fear is not even real, but it's keeping you from living your life.
Wow.
Why do you read the Bible with these people you don't even like them?
I think I just got to.
You say you guys have Bible study together. Why do you read the Bible with people that you don't even like? You're judging in your own mind. Why you read the Bible with them?
Ooh, dang. Because what am I supposed to say? I can't do study with you no more?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had thoughts like that, Jesse, seriously. I've had thoughts like, I don't even think this is serving me.
So why don't you tell them that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fear. It has to be fear because, yeah, you're right. I mean, I guess I'm just making excuses in my head, like, well, whatever. I can't judge anybody else as far as your walk with Christ, so I'm not going to just, I could help her, but clearly I need to help myself.
You can't be. It's like the blind trying to teach the blind.
Yeah.
It's like a person that's asleep trying to teach another person that's asleep, and they both fall into the ditch.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. I'm gonna have to just be honest and just stop doing that. Yeah, because it's. Wow, yeah. It's just because when we first started the study, things were different.
No, they
but
were.
Now,
they were not different. They were the same. They're just gotten worse.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to just be honest with her, and just be like, I don't think I can do these studies anymore.
I don't think, or I'm not going to do them.
Oh, yeah.
No.
I can't do these studies anymore.
You can, but you don't. You shouldn't. I'm not doing these studies anymore. I don't even like you.
Oh my gosh, it's so. Oh, yeah. That's just why I called you, Jesse, because I needed this reality slap in the face. I really did. Oh, because this how happened today, right? And I'm like, I might call his mom, but I'm like, frick, if I call his mom, so I'm like, I need to call Jesse. And just, because I was at first wanting to just call her because I was upset. I'm like, well, why is she telling me that she's coming instead of her telling me? But, I fear. I guess I'm scared, even though they're not even mean people,
But
they're
they are
not
going to
mean
get
at all.
mean when you finally say, no, don't come unless you ask me first. Let me know. You're going to see the hell come out of them. They already know you're afraid of them, and that's why they're walking all over you. But and so they pretend to be nice. But if you ever start dropping your anger and being honest with these people, they're going to turn on you.
Yeah. Wow, that's true. You're right. I haven't given them a reason to.
I haven't.
I don't even look at myself as a doormat. But wow, I guess.
Oh, you're a doormat.
Wow, yeah.
And your doormat doesn't say, "It's my house and I live here."
Yeah. Oh, you're right, Jesse. You're right.
But anyway.
So I'm just.
What?
Sorry, you go ahead.
And you said before, I think you said, I may be misunderstood, you told your boyfriend, asked your boyfriend to talk to his mother about this, something like that. And he said, okay, I will. But did you talk him out of talking to his mother about this?
No, it was for his sister. So I haven't told him about his mom yet. But with his sister, he said that he would talk to her from, like, the past. But he's never offered, really, to talk to his mom unless it's about not giving our daughter sweets. You know, like, things like that. Like, he'll address her, but
have you asked him
I think
to?
he just feels bad for her.
Have you asked him? Have you asked him to keep his mother away?
No, I haven't asked him that.
And why not?
You don't think that's asking a lot? Like,
I'm sorry?
That's not asking a lot.
How that?
You know what I mean?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Like, that's not absurd to ask of him. Like, well, you want me to keep my mom away? Like, I could hear, I feel like he would just defend her in a way to be like, well, this is her grandchild. She just wants to see her grandchild because her parents are gone and she has no one.
You feel like that, or that's what he would do or say?
He's said it before, because I've talked to him like, hey, I just feel like your mom's kind of a little suffocating, and he's like, well, you know, she just wants to come see Sonia, you know, like he just kind of.
That doesn't mean he got to let her do it just because she want to.
Right.
And so, why you married a man who was afraid of his mama? Does he love you or his mama?
I've asked him that, like, well, are you putting her before my request, you know? And he says no. Of course, he says no. It says that I come before her, but I believe him.
And then you says, okay, then tell her to stay away.
So you think that request is okay? Like that request isn't bad at all to ask of someone? Like
not at all. God said to the man, when you get married, take your wife far away from your family, because God knows that your mother and his mother will destroy the family.
Wow, yeah. Dang. That's true. You got to pull the scripture out, yeah.
It's in the Word.
That's right. Leave and cleave. Leave and cleave. But, yeah, so you think I should ask him that then? Like, you need to
what do you think?
Just, you know what? I honestly agree. I agree, because I'm feeling suffocated. You know, my family lives a little farther away, so my mom don't really bother us like that. My parents don't really do that. So, but you know, they're tight-knit family. Like, his grandparents always stopped over whenever they wanted.
Ain't that much tight-knit in the world. You are his family, not them anymore.
I see. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So you don't think his mom should be around, period? Or just like holidays?
Only if you and your husband want her around. There's no obligation just because she's a grandmother and just because she is his mother or sister. There's no requirement for you to let them around unless you guys want it.
Yeah. Okay, I hear you.
He doesn't owe her anything except not to resent her. She can help herself.
Right.
But you can't blame the in-laws for the way you feel. Your fear is inside of you, and you were that way when they met you. And until you are ready to overcome your own fear, it doesn't matter what they do, you're still going to be in fear.
Wow, you're right. That's my problem, yeah.
Did you forgive your mother?
I did. I actually really did, Jesse. It was probably almost 3 months ago now. I drove and I went to her and I told her, I was like, I feel like I've forgave you in the past when we were drinking. And now that I'm sober, I've had a child, I realize those wounds are still there. But I forgive you and I judged you, but I realized that was the best you could do. And you can't help yourself.
Yeah.
So
why don't you be the same way with these people?
I thought that was his job, I guess
It is his job, but you're right about that. Your husband should be doing this, but if he's not going to do it, you have a decision to make.
Yeah.
Why would you marry a man that can't deal with his own mama?
I didn't really see those signs. Like, I didn't even see, because he's not really a mama's boy, you know what I mean? So, I guess I don't, I feel like he would have my back if I really, damn, Jesse, I'm trying to find the words, I'm not trying to protect him, but I really don't think he's, looks up to his mom for everything, He is pretty, he's very manly, but I think he just has a lot of sympathy for her with her life and, how lonely she is.
Sympathy is not love.
Mm.
You have no right to have sympathy for anyone.
Yeah.
And so if you believe that he can stand up to his mother and correct, why haven't you told him about this, how you feeling, and that you want her to not come unless she call?
Yeah, you know what? He's defending her, because I have, Jesse, we've talked about this a handful of times, to where I'm like, I just feel like, you just let her kind of come here when she wants, but his excuse is just, well, this is her grandchild. She's entitled to it,
This
but
marriage is not going to work if this issue is not settled. You're going to give your husband hell, and because you're angry, you're going to destroy the kid and everything. Because you have no peace.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't want that at all, I feel like we're both God-fearing, we're both working on ourselves.
What do you mean you God-fearing? That doesn't even make sense.
Having a reverence for the Lord, of respect, a high, consider him in all things.
And how are you doing that and you hate his mama?
Come on, Lord. I ain't Jesus himself, okay?
You're Jesus' sister.
Oh, yeah.
How you have reverence for the Lord, and you both doing this for the Lord, and you won't even deal with this woman.
Yeah.
You won't even tell her how the cow ate the cabbage. Oh, but you love the Lord.
Dang, yeah, you're right. Dang, Jesse.
You don't even know God. You wouldn't know God if you walked up to the house with Jesus.
Wow. Wow, Jesse. I seek him every day. I'm trying to seek him every day, just, getting in his word and learning about him, and just
learning about him is not knowing him. You're not seeking him, learning about him.
Yeah.
You're just learning about him, but that's not helping you at all. And then you say, oh, I know about Jesus, so I have reverence for the Lord. All you have is knowledge of God, but you don't know God. Because if you knew God, you will have perfect peace.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I got to run.
Oh, come on.
We can't talk all day. What the?
Okay, Jesse. I appreciate your time, Jesse. Thank you so much.
Are you
I
doing
needed
it?
to hear all of this.
Are you doing the silent prayer? No.
No, I'm not.
Well, suffer and die.
I'm going to start doing it, Jesse, okay?
Of
for sure.
course.
Dang. All right, Jesse. I really appreciate your time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
In closing, all of your problems are inside of you. Your fears, your anger, the wondering what's going to happen if. All that stuff is inside of you, and you're never going to overcome it until you face it. And those people are only doing what you allowing them to do, and you're allowing it because you're afraid. And you're making up all these excuses. Oh, I want to obey the older. I want to have reference for the older people, or something you said. You're just afraid. You got to overcome fear by facing it.
Yeah. You're right.
I wish you well.
Thank you, Jesse. I really appreciate it.
Let me know how it goes.
Okay, I will.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. 888-7753-773. Let me go to first-time caller. Hold on 1 minute. Jeremy. Jeremy, welcome out of New Jersey. Welcome to the show. Jeremy? Jeremy. Okay. Let me go to Super Chat, and then I come back to the calls. Super
Chats.
KL asks, is there anything scarier than staying in hell forever?
No. And it get worse. So hang in there. You see what happens. Amazing. Thank you.
KOC on pilled.net.
Nice.
300 gold pills.
Thank you.
If our thoughts are not our own, in response to the biblical question, how could we think for ourselves if our thoughts are not our own?
So she's responding to the biblical question?
He or she. I don't dox
he
the
or she.
gender.
Do you think for yourself?
Well, he or she is KOC is not answering the BQ. It's asking a question about the question.
I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday. I can't respond until then. I want to hear from others, and I want to encourage others to think for themselves. Amazing. Thank you.
Thanks, as always, KOC. Pastor Chatelet on pilled 144 gold pills.
Thank you.
It's they, them, because there's a demon in there. Yes, Uncle Jesse, spiritual warfare is real. We cooning for the Lord.
All the time.
The loud.
Thank you.
Eli P. need a military at the border, not the Middle East.
There you go. Amazing.
Ryan J. I feel like calling in and being like, why do you live in the second worst state in America and actually enjoy living there?
That's a good question. Why am I love L.A. Not so much, I wouldn't leave if I had to. But right now, I'm just fine in L.A.
I'm thankful I don't live downtown right now.
Yeah.
Zit says, he who chases fantasies has no sense.
There you go.
Man.
Amazing. Thank you.
Jody Samurai, is it ironic that the woman's name, Karen Bass, is Karen and nobody is talking about that? LOL.
A good point. What's wrong with Karen? Amazing.
Tyrant Sora was wrecked. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning. Thank you.
Aries 1 gifted 10 Jesse Lee Peterson YouTube subscriptions. That's nice.
Thank you.
Elise bought a coffee. Have a great week, guy.
Thank you. You too. I appreciate it.
Jesse, my friend Stephanie from Canada came to your fellowship 3 weeks ago. Had a chance to talk to you on FaceTime. LOL. Great day for me to keep up the good work.
I remember Stephanie. Right on. Thank you.
Cool.
And I will. You stay with us. Stay with us. Stay with us. I totally remember her. You remember her?
Maybe.
I do. I remember doing that FaceTime thing. I mean, that cell phone.
That's cool.
Video. Thank you.
Madeline bought a coffee. Morning, Jesse, JLP team. The libs want to destroy America. It's all intentional because they want to destroy the white man.
And they want power. Perceived power and wealth. You're right about that.
C-Bill 3 coffees. Jesse, don't be deceived. These protests are not organic. They're paid for by liberal billionaires.
Absolutely. 100%. That's what I was saying in the opening. The people doing the rioting and burning and killing and all that, they are being controlled by the politicians, the Democratic media, and then those people are being controlled by the billionaire. It's all about the money. Amazing.
Crazy. So C-Bill 3 coffees. Oh, yeah, thank you, C-Bill. Soul Conscious 3 coffees. Jesse, it does not make sense that people are protesting for illegals. The illegals are here to take advantage of America. What do you think is going on?
Money, a grab for money and power, and they're using these people for that reason. That's all what's going on, money and power. Amazing.
Eric, 3 coffees. Gavin Newsom doesn't believe any word he says. Please, arrest me. He should be arrested for that theatrical performance.
That's right. What a mess. Thank you.
Indeed. Mike Young, rest in peace. Sly Stone of Sly and the Family Stone.
He just died or something?
Died at 82.
When?
Reported yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
I thought he was already dead.
I thought I'd telling you, but
wow.
I thought you would hear by now.
I have not heard not one word about it.
Yeah, I got a couple of push notifications yesterday.
Really? What made his soul rest in peace? I was not aware of that. Thank you.
At the tender age of 82.
Nice.
Gregatron, you killed me with first hour when you said Jasmine Cricket. Thank you, Gregatron.
Amazing. Thank you.
Have a good Tuesday, everyone, says Ryan J. Thanks for the support, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Charles with yet another, should we forgive Satan? Maybe that's what he meant by instead of forego. He says with another super chat, should we forgive Satan?
Don't hate the devil. If you hate the devil, you become a devil, and he will control you. Resist it by not hating it. Amazing.
Uncle Ruckus, 700 Marines going to L.A.
Nice.
It's exciting.
Are they
Much
going to be
needed.
having a military parade or something this summer?
Oh, maybe, yeah, for is it the 250th?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Next year's 250.
At some point, we're supposed to be having a military parade like they used to do in the good old days.
That's right.
Nice. Thank you.
BPSN says good morning and gifted the cookie.
Thank you.
On Pilled.
Amazing.
Shout out. And over on Buy Me a Coffee, Sion says, good morning, Jesse. It's pretty painful now. I am talking to a specialist. I decided just to get a surgery. I never thought I'd be injured. Always been healthy, cheerful person. Scary, but I'm not going to give up. Thank you. Love you. Thank you for asking.
Right on. Don't give up. I wish you well with that. Amazing.
3 coffees from Eric. A good mother doesn't cook and clean. A good mother is honest. A good mother doesn't exist.
I rest my case. I got to stop there.
All right, we'll read the rest later, guys.
Thank you all. Let me go quickly to Washington and talk to Charles out of Washington. Charles, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, how you doing?
All is well, Charles.
All right. Yeah, I'm just calling you back because a few weeks ago I called and you told me to
speak up a little bit.
I'm sorry, can you hear me?
I can now.
Yeah, I said I'm calling because a couple weeks ago I called you and told you I'm going to tell both my parents I forgive them, and I just want to give you a little update on that.
Okay.
Well, me and my father, I couldn't get in touch with him, so I texted him. And I told him...
Your phone going, Charles, your phone going, are you like on a Bluetooth or something?
No, can you hear me? My ears against the phone.
Okay, because your phone keep going in and out. Hold on, don't...
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm going to let Derek check. I'm going to take a break. When I come back from this break, I'm coming right to you, all right?
Thank you.
Oh, hold on. Derek, see if we can make his phone better. Back in a moment. The treasure chest is now open on D-Live and Scratch Off on Peel. Thank you. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. Okay, folks, welcome back. The Hake Report is coming up at the top of this hour, thehakereport.com. And then at 11 a.m., No Joel Friday, is the American Anchor Baby at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And don't forget to support us on social media. We're on rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Cozy.tv/JLP. JLP Talk on X. Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. And Pilled, PILLED.net/Jesse Lee Peterson. Like, follow, subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff. And support. We need your support financially as well. We're helping you help others, so help us to help others. Go to rebuildingtheman.com/donate, tax deductible, rebuildingtheman.com/donate, or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. Let me go back to Charles out of Washington. Hey, Charles, let's try it again. You went and forgave your parents, and what happened?
Yeah, well, I reached out to my father, and I pretty much told him whatever animosity I had against you is cleared. I have nothing against you. Whatever happened in the past is in the past, and moving forward, I want to build on a new relationship. So I forgive you for everything that has been done in the past, and your account is at zero with me. I hold nothing against you. And he kind of responded, I guess, like, okay, so what does this mean? And I just pretty much told him, look, Father's Day, let's hang out. I'm gonna go over his house Father's Day, spend time with him, and just there's no point of holding on to the past, right? And like you said before, he couldn't help himself, and that's how I have to look at it.
Right.
I'm not God. I can't say, whether he meant it or not. That ain't up to me. That's between him and God. I can't allow that to affect me personally. You get in my blessings. You understand what I'm saying? So
Nice.
I pretty much told him,
And how
I
about
let
how about
everything
with
go.
how about with your mother?
Well, with her, this was the second time, actually. I did it once before. She gave me the wine and all that. This time, she just accepted. She said, okay. And that was it.
Nice.
So she said, okay. And I just, kept it at that. And once again, it's not about so much them. It's about letting it go for myself, because I was holding on to something that I shouldn't have held on to. So I just want to say thank you for that.
You're welcome. Are you doing the silent prayer?
No, I haven't. One step at a time. I did that. Okay, now I got to work on that. But yeah, I am planning on doing that. Yeah.
Do the silent prayer so you can practice staying out of your head and stay present with life, with truth, with God, by living in the present rather than an illusion of your imagination, thinking about the past or the future. It doesn't exist. So now you start doing the silent prayer, you get ready to live now.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Now, I heard you say something earlier about that biblical question, do you think for yourself? And I thought about that. And I don't, because every time I think about what other people would think about what I'm about to do before I can even take in what it is that I want to do. You get what I'm saying?
That's
So does
amazing.
the silent prayer help with that?
Yes.
Okay.
It helps in that it shows you that you're not your thoughts, you're not the emotions, you're not your body, and none of those things, and it causes you to be. When I say it causes you to be still, so you can let the light of God truly take over and guide you.
Okay. Right. Because like you said, when we do Bible study and all that, we gain a knowledge, but we don't know him.
That's
because
right.
if we knew him, we wouldn't be such a nervous wreck all the time when something go bad.
100%. Amazing.
All right. Well, I thank you, brother, and I'll continue to, keep in touch. And
Yeah.
I'm
And
gonna try
stay
the
with
silent
us.
prayer.
Stay with us. Say, do the silent prayer. rebuildingaman.com/silent prayer.
Yes, sir.
All
Thank
right,
you.
man.
Be blessed.
Amazing. Take care, Charles.
Happy Father's Day weekend.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, man. You have children?
No, I don't have any children yet.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I'm praying for a wife too. So
don't pray
I'm
for
gonna call
one.
you about that one day. Don't pray for one.
You only seek the truth. Don't seek a wife. Don't seek anything but the truth. Otherwise, you'll get a wife and she'll become your God and she'll destroy you.
Okay.
So only pray for truth, not for anything else.
All right.
All right. Okay.
I will. Thank you.
All right,
Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. There was a protest that broke out in Florida. I just want to show it to you, and I'll come back to your calls and super chat. Fox 13 has reported that a protest on both sides of the immigration debate rally outside of Tampa City Hall on Monday afternoon. And watch this from Fox 13.
Hundreds gathered in downtown Tampa Monday in solidarity with protesters in Los Angeles over the weekend, denouncing mass deportations and ICE raids across the country.
I think it's heartbreaking what's going on in Los Angeles. That's actually why I'm here today.
I'm 79 years old. I
You're
love
the
this
nut.
country, but it scares me that people are being rounded up on the streets. I know it starts with immigrants, but it doesn't stop there.
Get out now. Florida also carrying out immigration enforcement operations this year, the largest in the state's history, with thousands of arrests. But some Floridians in support of President Trump's immigration policies also showed up to City Hall.
So I'm an immigrant from Mexico. I got here legally, and I support legal immigration. If you want to come to this country and you come the right way, I will welcome you with open arms. But we, the people, voted for Donald Trump to mass deport anyone who crossed our border illegally.
Amazing. Don't mess with Florida. What the? Amazing. Let me go to Nate out of Canada. Nate, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
How are you doing, sir? How are you doing?
All is well.
Yeah, so just had a question on the Father's Day topic, right?
Okay.
So I recently got an invitation from my son's school. They're having like a little Father's Day event or whatnot, but I haven't seen my son in nearly a year, right? Going back and forth with the mom. So I don't really know whether to go or not because the up and downs, I don't really know if that's good for him because if I go there, I really don't know when I'm going to see him again. So I don't really know whether if I should come. I don't think he's really old enough to understand.
How old is he?
Pardon?
How old is your son?
5.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I know it's like Father's Day, there's pressure from society, the family but the ups and downs, I don't really know if it's good to come in and out of a child's life like that, whether to just wait with the court system until I can actually have like a legal framework or if I should just go and then see what happens.
And so your question for me is what?
I want to know whether it's good to go, like even though I may not see him again, or whether I should just wait until everything's good with the court.
If you want to go, go. If you don't go. Don't go under any type of pressure, and don't not go under any type of pressure. It's totally up to you, and do the one that you want to do, but don't do it with pressure on either side.
Mm-hmm. So do you think it's like beneficial for a child to see their father once in a while, like unpredictable, or if it's better to just stay out until you can have a stable relationship?
Why you don't see him now?
The mother is, she's being complicated as usual. She has like a new boyfriend and stuff. Yeah. So that's the situation. I wonder if it's actually good.
If you went there, would she try to keep you from seeing the baby?
Yeah, well, that's why, it's always some drama,
So then,
but
why would you
school's
even think,
inviting me.
Why would you think about going there? Because how old is 5?
Yes.
He's not even know if you're there or not. He's not going to remember.
Well, he knows who I am. He
right,
knows
but he's not going to remember at 5. He's going to forget. Why go and fight with her? But it's up to you. You do the one you want to do.
Mm-hmm. So you don't have memories of yourself as a child, Father's Day, the memories of your father being there or not?
I don't even know they had Father's Day when I was growing up.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I don't even remember we had a Father. I think Father's Day may be a new thing. And Mother's Day, too. Did they have Father's Day hate when I was growing up?
I'll have to look it up.
I think Mother's Day and Father's Day is a new money-making thing.
It originated in the early 20th century. So early attempts in the 1900s and growing momentum in the 10s and 20s. Official recognition in 66 to 72. So you're right. You didn't really have it.
No, they didn't.
Especially in the country, They
didn't have Father's Day when I was growing up.
Man, you're old, man.
Oh, I'm older than dirt. I am 1 year younger than Israel.
Wow. Always wanted to visit one day.
Can you imagine being older than a country almost?
That's amazing. Always wanted to visit one day. Once
Israel?
the smoke clears. Yeah, once the smoke clears.
You will not regret it. A friend of mine just went to Israel. He sent me some pictures, and it was amazing. So, yeah, you want to go to Israel. But I got to run, Nate. Do the one you want to do. If you want to go, go. If not, don't. But don't feel obligated at all.
All right.
All right. I wish you
well.
well.
God bless.
You too, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. Amazing. 888-775-3773. Let me try Brian again out of Bahamas. Brian, let's try it again. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse. How you doing, man?
All is well.
All right, man. First of all, I'd like to say good morning and God bless you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So I was calling well, last week I called and I was going to talk about back fatigue situation, but the young lady that called you earlier kind of reminded me about something, and you could probably give me some advice. So right now, what I'm dealing with is I'm in recovery, right?
In recovery for what? What that mean?
I'm in recovery from drugs.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, drugs and alcohol and all that. So but for the longest time, I was kind of like the leader of my family, right? I got all my cousins' jobs. I put my little brother on his job.
Are you near some birds or something?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm walking inside right now. You hear that too?
Yeah.
God dang. I don't know what they're talking about.
But go ahead because of time.
Yeah. But so man, I used to do very well for myself, Jess. I was a commercial diver and a tugboat captain for 11 years. You know, and anyway, stuff happened. I won't tell you the whole story because I know it's getting late. But so when I fell off, right, which kind of was due to a back injury, you know, and then after I hurt my back, couldn't really work like that. I couldn't work out, gain weight, and anyways, I ended up back on drugs and all that, and it consumed me, right? And so there was like a year and a half stretch, Jess, where
and so your question for me is what?
Okay, so during that time, after about 6 months, right, my family started treating me and I don't care about how they was treating me, but it's things that was said, right? And I always used to tell them, I said, man, look here, just work with me, right? You know, I'm going to get back on my feet. It's going to come a time you can't take back what was said, and it got real bad, right? And so now I'm good. Now I'm in recovery, getting back on my feet, and now it's hard to look at these people, you know, the same way. It's crazy. So I want to forgive. I forgive them, right? But it's, you know, some things can be said that it's really hard to forgive, you know. And there was a point that everyone turned their back on me, man. You know, I was in rehab, man. You know, I couldn't get my family to send me a bag of chips. You know what I mean? I put my family on, Jesse. You know, I even through all the hurricanes, because I'm from the Bahamas. You know, we went through hard times, and I was always there to.
And so your question for me is what? Because of time.
What do you think? How do you think I should deal with this?
You should forgive them. Don't be angry at them. Be glad to see your enemy, and then move on with your life. Be done with them, but don't be angry at them.
No, I ain't angry at them, but I can't be done with them.
Why not?
Because that's my family.
And what does that mean?
Pardon me?
What does that mean?
What it means is
they won't even send you a bag of chip. Aren't you their family too?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
If they don't see you in that way, why are you holding on to those crazy ideas?
Because and it really isn't all of that. And one of the people that was doing the most was my little brother. And you have to understand too, right? During that, I was a different person when I was on drugs, you know? And there is a time when, people got to stop trying, you know? People got to move on with their life, and I understand that. And I have accountability for everything. I don't blame no one on nothing, but, you know, it's
the fact that... I want you to call me back on tomorrow because it sounds like a long story, but I recommend that you forgive them. They can help themselves, but then you move on and live your life. You don't be trying to take care of them. Don't give them money and all that crap. But don't be angry at them, and you move on with your life. Be done with them.
Yeah. All right, sir. All right, man. Well, you have a good day. God bless you.
Thank you, buddy. Call me back tomorrow or the next time you can. All right, I have a little more time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No problem.
All right, buddy. 888-77 Jesse Super Chat.
Super Chats.
Madeline says with a coffee, Trump should just let California get what it deserves. He should never mention that state again and stop giving them federal funds.
No, we hired him to work for. We need Trump. If ever we needed Trump, we need him now.
That's
Thank
right.
You.
Uncle Ruckus says, why do the Mexicans get the N-word pass, but the whites don't?
That's a good question. Because the Mexicans don't have any money. The white people do. That's why.
Taylor says, Jesse, love the shirt, brother. The Lacoste gator is a nice touch.
Thank you. Amazing.
No I in Jesse. Uncle Ruckus says Trump's big bill will start a $1,000 savings fund to every child born after December 2024, plus 32-hour work weeks. Amazing.
Amazing. Nice. Thank you.
He also says with another, I just ordered Punchy's coffee.
Good. Rebuild Jesse Lee Peterson .shop. Jesse Lee Peterson .shop. Amazing coffee.
Shout out to the top contributors on the D Live crew.
Enjoy the coffee, by the way.
Yeah. The top contributors on the D Live crew, Games for Rec, Wolf336, Greenwall, Misty, and the rest, Kilo Alpha Tango. Thanks, y'all.
Thank
and
you.
everybody.
Yeah.
And on Buy Me a Coffee, Cesar 3 Coffees, Caesar, answer to the biblical question.
Do you think for yourself?
I don't think for myself. My ego thinks for me since it thinks it knows what's best for me. What a shame, Jesse. There's trouble in the land. Laughing face with tears.
There's trouble in the land. Thank you, and I'll respond on Sunday. I appreciate it.
Shout out to Creighton, Dolphin, Spirit 22, Pastor Chatelet, and the rest of the supporters. Crave slave for him and all y'all over on the Rumble crew.
Thank you all. You got to know how to rumble.
Tamgur Rowell, pardon me if I'm butchering it, says, I have a hard time getting out of silent prayer sometimes because I feel safe there. On pills.
Nice. Thank you. Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it.
And thank you, guys. I do believe that is all for now.
Oh, amazing. Thank you. Let me go to Johnny, a first-time caller out of Los Angeles. Johnny, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning.
Hey, Johnny.
Hey, got a question. You talked about in the past that you're not supposed to be looking for a wife or a girlfriend. So how do you want to meet your wife and your girlfriend in the future? So how you do it? I mean,
you do
you're
it
not
by
supposed to be looking.
Right. You do it by seeking the kingdom of God. Seek what's right above all. Don't put anything before that. And then the Father will add everything to you that should be added. And so if it's meant for you to get married, make a family, He will add the right woman into your life. But if you look for one, you're going to always find the devil, and it's never going to work. And then she'll become your God. Whatever you seek is what you're going to find, and that's what will become your God. You should only seek the kingdom of God, and all things will be added.
Oh, okay, but so when I do seek the kingdom of God, but I go about my day and I see a beautiful woman and I want to talk to her. I mean,
go talk to her if you want to, but don't talk to her in your mind. This is my wife, or going to be my wife. You talk to her, you get to know her, and one thing leads to another. And if it's meant for you to marry her, it'll be clear.
So it's okay to say, hey, I think you're very interesting. I like to continue this conversation.
Absolutely. But don't spend money on her, though. Don't be spending your money on her.
Oh, don't be spending no money then, huh?
Right.
So you don't recommend taking her to no luxury restaurants?
Taking her to McDonald's or some cafe that doesn't cost too much money. And then when you sit down and you order your meal, and while the meal is coming, you ask her, if we should ever get married, will you obey me? And if she hem and haw or she says no, you get up and walk away. Just leave.
Are you serious?
Yeah, leave her right at the table. Because
but I'm serious. Ask her that question directly?
Yes. That way you don't waste time, because you don't want to marry a woman that will not obey you.
So even though we talked for like maybe 5 minutes as just a first time meeting,
yes,
and just ask her that question just like that directly.
Yes, and if she says no, walk away. Just leave.
And you dead serious about that?
100%.
Wow.
And then, but and in closing, make sure you seek what's right. You should have no other God above God, because any other God will destroy you. It will control you, and it will destroy you. The Father loves you, God, and He knows what's best for you, and He will add only the best into your life, even without an effort.
So the girl, I mean, if she said yes, she'll obey me. That she basically knows that what the thing is with the Bible and stuff. Then is that basically what you're saying?
Well, you don't want a Bible thumper wife. You want to get to know her first, and you'll see if she's right about that. But if she says, "Oh, yeah, I will," don't think, "Well, this is my wife." You still date her, get to know her, and you will see what to do. I promise you.
I see.
I wish you well, Johnny.
That's very good advice. Very good.
Yeah, but call me again. This thing gonna cut us off in a minute. Call me again, all right?
I will. You have a beautiful day.
All right, buddy. Amazing. I'm out of time. Super.
Super chats.
Shout out to all of the Pilled supporters, White Wings 1776, Tamgar Rowell, and KOC, Pastor Chatelet, and the rest. And of course, the Dolphin Spirit 22, Old Spicy, Age of Inversion, and all the guys on the Rumble crew. Thank you guys, as always, for the support.
Thank you all very much. Rick out of Hampton, Virginia. Luke, a first-time caller out of California. Lexi, not Rex. It's an L, not an X. Lexi, a first-time caller out of Ohio. The other caller just dropped. I'm out of time. I'll be back tomorrow if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. Go to rebuildingtheman.com/silent prayer. Forgive your mothers, forgive your fathers, and the light will open up the world for you. All right? Stay with us. Thank you, super chatters and everything. I do appreciate it. The donors to bond and all that. Hakes coming up now, and then the American Anchor Baby. Have a good day, folks.
The views, information, thoughts, and opinions expressed during this show are the individual's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of the JLP Network or Bond. Their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. The material and information presented here is for general information purposes only. The JLP Network and Bond name and all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owner, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service.
So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God? So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church.